Hey all, today I would be doing another requested read from my viewers. This one is going to be, what does your boss think about you and your work? I'm going to use these cards to channel some messages for you. So let's get right into it. You all know how I do these. There are timestamps available in the description box. So click the bottom left corner of the screen and you're going to see a small word that says more. You're clicking on that and you are going to see card names pop up as well as timestamps. These readings are strictly for entertainment purposes. So take what you can with you and leave behind what belongs to somebody else. If a message does not apply to you, don't take it. Only take the messages that make sense to you. If you select a pile of cards and none of the messages make sense to you, feel free to select another pile. Alright? So let's dive right into these. Let's see what cards come out for my pile 1. Pile 2. Pile 2. Pile 3. And should I push these around? Yes, I should. And pile 4. Alright, so let's get into these messages. For pile 1, I have here purple Jade. For pile 2, Tektite. For pile 3, Emerald. And for pile 4, Obsidian. I really like Obsidian, guys. Alright, let's get into it. Pause the video if you need to. Take your time when selecting the card that you feel most drawn to. Alright. Pile 1, Purple Jade. Pile 2, Tektite. Pile 3, Emerald. And pile 4, Obsidian. Alright, let's get into it. If you chose pile 1, Purple Jade. Alright, let's see what your boss thinks about you and your work. Let's allow the cards to paint a storyline for us. Okay. Alright, so your boss, wherever you work, your boss recognizes that you do believe in some sort of higher being or higher divine source, creator. Maybe you've spoken openly about your beliefs at work. Maybe you've discussed those things with your boss or your co-workers and your boss managed to catch wind of it. Your boss sees that you bring a level of calming to your work environment because you are centered within yourself. If you do not believe in a higher being, maybe you practice like yoga, or maybe you practice other healing, mind, body, spirit type of exercises, or you take part in those activities to ensure that you are balanced within yourself, because your energy comes across to your boss as very balanced, and you are not the type of individual to bring emotional issues to the workplace, my pile 1, and you bring mutual understanding and support other people's emotions on the job, right, according to the card. So your boss recognizes that you have some humor as well. You may have a spontaneous side to you, All right. Yeah, the cross came out, so that confirms the belief in a divine, a higher divine, or maybe a higher being. Maybe you have very unique spiritual beliefs, and that's okay, you know. If you don't believe in anything other than yourself, then this is probably not the pile for you, because I get that this is definitely a pile that believes in a higher being, right? The cross came out. I also get that your boss sees that you are also willing to help others with their burdens. If their crosses are too hard to carry, you know, you would be the type of coworker to help if your coworkers need help, and your boss sees that. You may sometimes work around the clock. Maybe you may carry your work home to work, you know, and you do this alone, right? Your boss sees that you're not afraid to work alone. You're okay with working on your own and getting things done on your own. Yeah, there's something here about how much you work, so your boss recognizes how committed you are to your job, whatever job you are in. And I think maybe some of you might be in the healing profession, maybe a counselor or a psychologist, psychiatrist. If you are not in that type of profession, then you are probably a teacher for Pile 1. But their job requires you to be a little bit of a great assistance to your clientele if there's a clientele, right? Let's see what else your boss. Yeah, so some of you that chose Power 1 could be a teacher, because I just saw these two cards pop up. Some of you, if you are not a teacher, then you could definitely be in a field of work that requires you to work with both women and men, right? Gonna shuffle. All right, so let's see what else does my boss think about my Pile 1 and their work. Some of you may actually be like working in the medical profession as well. All right, that is only going to be for some of you. So some of you that selected this pile could be a doctor. Your boss sees that some of you may go on coffee breaks. You may drink coffee, or there's something that you drink, maybe a lot of water. Maybe you're concerned about your fitness, your health, your well-being for Pile 1, and your boss recognizes that. You know, maybe you're trying to get back in shape. Maybe you are trying to lose weight, you know, stay active. Your boss recognizes that. But with respect to your work, I think your higher up definitely sees that you are dedicated to your job, and your boss really appreciates that about you. Yeah. Your boss could also see that some of you that selected this pile are animal lovers. You may like animals. Alright. I just heard 3 strikes and you're out. So maybe you're the type of person that gives people the benefit of the doubt, but once people try you enough, you know, they get scratched off your list. You're like, okay, yeah, that was enough. Yeah. You have a lot of energy. I think your boss recognizes that you communicate a lot with the people that you need to communicate with. Sometimes you may be on your phone, talking to clients, talking to other co-workers, just to ensure that the job gets done is what is coming to mind. Your boss is pleased actually overall with your performance and how you get the job done for this pile. Yeah. Some of you are definitely in the medical field, because this is a thermometer that came out. So if you are a doctor, a nurse, or you may just have first aid training, you know, whatever it is, whatever skills you have for Part 1, and you utilize it on the job, and your boss recognizes that about you. Alright. There is a boundary here line, another boundary line. So your boss sees that you're not afraid to set boundaries with people, establish boundaries, let people know how they can talk to you, you know, put people in place is what what is coming to mind. Yeah, your boss sees that you love whatever you do. You are not afraid also to take L's, you know, because maybe you're Okay, what I get is that your customer service skills, if you are in a customer or client service skills, let's just say client, your client service skills are great actually, you know, because you're not afraid to get rejected from people, you know. And I mean, in life, when you are dealing with a particular clientele, you know, there's always room for rejection. So your boss sees that you're not afraid of being rejected, you know, by clients, or you know, you're really good. I think this is a part where you're really good with people. You know how to talk to people, you know how to communicate, very emotionally intelligent for my part one. That's what your boss sees and likes about you, you know. You contribute a lot to the work environment, my part one, and your boss really likes your work ethic and how you carry yourself, how you get the job done, more or less. Yeah. Alright, so let's go on to pile 2. What does your boss think about you and your work ethic? Okay, so I think for pile 2, your boss definitely sees that you put a lot of energy into whatever you do for work. Alright? Your boss could probably notice something about your physical appearance. There's something about your physical appearance that stands out a lot. For my pile 2, your boss sees that you pay attention to your time when you're at the workplace. You're not afraid of challenges. You're not afraid to set boundaries either, for my pile 2. Okay. Yeah, there's something about your physical appearance that is coming through. So the boobies and the butt came out here. Maybe you work in a job where you have to offer assistance to people to improve their physical appearance. So some of you that chose pile 2, you could be like an esthetician, a cosmetologist, a surgeon. For others of you, it could be a personal trainer, physical therapist. There's something here about just the physical body and improving the physical body. Okay. If that is not your line of work, then you probably selected the wrong pile. So go select another pile if you are not a personal trainer, cosmetologist, esthetician, or any of those things. I think this is a pile where you work with people to improve their physical appearance, right? You could also be a nutritionist that chose pile 2, or somebody who just has to offer that type of advice to people. Yeah, two signs about personal training. Mountains, you know, people have to climb up mountains, get exercise in, you know. So I think this is definitely a pile where you show people how to use their body. Some of you could be dancers that chose pile 2 as well, or a dance instructor. There's something about that here if you are not a personal trainer. But whatever you do, your boss sees that you are very much, you pay attention to your time. You don't waste time, you know. T came out as well, time. You don't waste time. Maybe your sessions need to have time limits on them, you know. Maybe you and if you're not a, okay, random message, if you don't have a boss and you are self-employed for pile 2, your clients see that you pay attention to your time and whatnot, right? Your clients think you do an excellent job. Your boss thinks you do an excellent job if you do not if you don't work solo dolo, if you're not an entrepreneur. Take the messages how it makes sense to you, right? I'm interchanging between being self-employed and working for somebody for this pile. So yeah, if you are self-employed, your clients see that you pay attention to everything that you do. Maybe you pay attention to details on the instruments that you use. Some of you could be models that chose pile 2, very random message, because you know in the modeling industry you have to pay attention to your body as well. So some of you could be models or fashion, yeah, in fashion industry. So your boss sees that you're always on the go. You know, if you are self-employed, you're always on the go. Your clients recognize that about you. Take it how it makes sense to you. Alright, let's see one more. My pile 2, what does your boss or clients think about them and their work? And you're always bright, and you know, you're just very brilliant. I think you're smart. Your boss and clientele recognizes that you are very smart, very intelligent. You use that energy, that bright energy that you have, to really shift the flow and energy of the workplace that you're in. Right, guys? So that's what I got here for my pile number 2. Really awesome read for this one, I think. And good job. Keep doing your best for my pile 2. You also could help people to like bring ease to their body. Maybe you do meditation, or you teach people how to meditate. There's something here. Or maybe you may you could be in art therapy as well for pile 2. So maybe you do a job where you have to teach people how to paint, teach people how to, you know, paint, tap into their creative side. Yeah. Tap into their imagination for my pile 2. That's only going to be for others of you that chose pile 2. So I got a lot of options there for my pile 2. In terms of job and workplace vibe, but overall I think if you work for somebody, your boss sees that you love what you do, you put your heart into it, you're dedicated to it. All right, you always have a positive, optimistic mindset when it comes to your job. And if you are self-employed for my pile 2, your clientele sees that you are very, very bright and radiant and optimistic about how your work impacts them, you know. Alright, let's go to pile 3. Emerald Royal Heart Healer. I radiate with hope and good fortune. So your boss sees that you have a very abundant type of energy flow. There's something about your energy that your boss recognizes attracts more good fortune to wherever you work. You could work alone, like working alone, right? It may be a female oriented job that you're in. Maybe you have more females in the workplace than males. All right, wherever you work, it's an official job, like one of those official offices. Your boss sees that you're always on the go. Even if you don't have a car, you know, for my pile 3, you could just do a lot of moving from place to place. All right, your boss sees that you grew significantly while in this workplace. All right, that you probably want to travel the world. Maybe you spoke about travel, or you have interest in traveling. All right, so when you grew from this really small person to this really big person, so you're seeing that, right? Your higher up definitely acknowledges that there was significant growth and improvement in your performance at this workplace. All right, it says I radiate with hope and good fortune. Your boss sees that you're very hopeful about what you do. Some of you your boss sees that you are probably you probably like somebody at the workplace. Random message. You all know my advice for workplace love stories. Don't do it. Don't shit where you're eating. It's never a good idea. Wait till you leave the job first, and then you can possibly you know, get involved. I don't know, but for some of you, your boss sees that you may be interested in somebody at the workplace. That is only going to be for some of you, not all of you, right? For my pile 3, I think some of you also leave tasks undone until the following day. So your boss sees that sometimes you leave back some of your work to do the following day or the next day or whenever you have to do it. So you don't fully complete your task, you leave work to do for tomorrow, right? What else does my boss think and feel about my pile number 3? What else does pile 3's boss? Yeah, can't make the shut up. Your boss sees that you are either in love with somebody at the workplace, my pile 3, or you are in love with somebody. If it's not at the workplace, then your boss recognizes that you are in love with somebody outside of the workplace, right? So yeah, this came out as well. Your boss recognizes that you work around the some of you could work till late in the evening, late in the afternoon, and you stay whatever time you have to stay on the job. You stay and you do what you have to do. For my part 3, what else? Your boss sees sometimes that you could be a little bit sad, under the weather, not feeling 100%, maybe a little bit stressed out, but your boss does see you as a star and you are shining in your own little way, right? Some of you could be Muslims that chose this pile. That won't be for all of you, just some of you. For others of you, if you're not Muslim, then you could just believe in the moon and the stars and the universe and all these lovely shenanigans, right? So yeah, that's what I get. But your boss does see sometimes that maybe because you work so much or you're so dedicated to what you do, it could bring you a little bit of sorrow, or if not that, then you're sad sometimes about something. Your boss sees that you could be a little melancholic at times. So pay attention to your body language at the workplace for pile 3, because you don't want your boss overthinking your emotions for my pile 3. So just be mindful of how you carry yourself at the workplace. For others of you, your boss does recognize that you are indeed shining in whatever area or capacity that you're in at the workplace, right? Good stuff. Your boss can see that you're a very passionate person and you're not afraid to lock people off if you need to. Very passionate, very fiery, all about your work. Alright, pile number 4. Obsidian, volcanic energy. It says here, I am empowered by volcanic might. So what does your boss feel about you and your job? That you are very much powerful. Your boss sees that you are a powerhouse. I think this is a pile where if you work for a particular organization, your boss could be intimidated by your energy. Your boss sees that you like to take breaks, refreshments is what is coming to mind. So your boss recognizes that you sometimes go for breaks, you go get some snacks, drinks, whatever you want to eat to make your environment feel more comfortable, or to make you feel more comfortable in the environment. Your boss recognizes that that is what you do. You take breaks. Yeah, your boss sees the power that you hold in my pile 4. So I think this is definitely a pile where there's somewhat of an intimidation factor. Yeah, I get that strongly. So your boss could be intimidated by your potential in the establishment. Maybe your boss feels like one day you're going to take their job from them. You could have a very insecure boss for my pile 4. Your boss sees that you could sometimes how do I say this? Your boss sees that sometimes you could just be a little bit idle on the job. You know, you could just do things on a repeat. You know, maybe you're used to routine, my pal 4. Your boss sees that you're used to routine, or you don't like routines. There's something about you not liking routines, having to take breaks and whatnot to not feel, you know, overstimulated by the job. Your boss says that you have a lot of discipline. Okay. You may work well with others at the workplace. You may get along well with those around you, especially if the people around you are feminines. Your boss sees that you get along well with feminines. Your boss sees that you have a creative side. There may be some messages for you in pile 3. So go check out pile 3. Some of you, for some of you, your boss could think that you're in a love triangle, which is none of your boss's business, you know. As long as you do the work, you do the work. But your boss can see that some of you could be in a love triangle, or you're trying to put yourself in a love triangle. So if you know that you are getting involved with somebody at your workplace, cut that shit out, because your boss knows about it. And well, you don't want to get fired, so you know. Your boss sees that sometimes you would like close your door, maybe close your door to your office, or just be in a lane by yourself, solo dolo. Don't want to be disturbed, don't want to be bothered by other workers. Your boss sees that about you. Sometimes you just don't want to be bothered. Your boss sees that you are very much family oriented about your home life. Okay. Maybe you don't play when it comes to time to go home. You know, you're probably one of the first persons to be out of the office when 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time your job finishes. Your boss definitely observes you quietly. Okay. 3 people, and it fell out right under the love triangle. So your boss can see that you are probably in a love triangle. So be careful if you are a masculine looking at this and you are getting involved with somebody at your workplace. Your boss already knows about it, right? Don't shit where you're eating. There are too many options in this life to have to get involved with somebody at your workplace. So don't do it. I don't advise you to do it. It's not good. Alright. Let's see what else your boss thinks about you and your work. Well, this is what your boss thinks, so this could be inaccurate. Maybe your boss is assuming a lot of things about you just by how you operate within the workplace. Your boss sees that you could be a little bit moody sometimes. But you still shine, you still bring a lot of positive energy to the workplace. So that's what your boss sees and think about you and your work. But I think you are definitely somebody who, you take breaks from your job. You go in circles sometimes with your job. You could get used to a lot of routine at the job. You are used to, I should say that you are used to a lot of routine practices at your job. I think you get the job done. Your boss sees that you collaborate with those around you. If this is not a third party situation, which I think it is, your boss sees that you are a team player and that you work well with other members of your team. Take it how it resonates in your story. If certain parts of this message does not apply to you, do not take it, right? So yeah, you work well with others, you do a good job at what you do. Your boss is somehow always looking at you though, because they've been hearing things about you. I get that there's talk that's been going around, especially if there is some sort of third party suspicion. There is talk circulating and gossip circulating right, about you at the workplace for my pile 4, and there may be some messages for you in pile 3, so go look at pile 3 as well. But there is talk circulating about you, people gossiping about who you're interested in at work. And I think your boss sometimes feels as though you should be a little more focused on the job and not the people in the job, because there's something here that your boss picks up, that you are interested in people at the job, and that rubs your boss the wrong way. So please remember to focus your energy on what is important, my pile 4, and that is your work and not the people at the workplace, right? So that's it. Alright, if you like, don't forget to subscribe. If you don't like, feel free to visit another channel. Bye.